Down in 12th position, and we're hoping they'll offer some resistance to the juggernaut of Brisbane. They're looking for a club record of 12 consecutive wins, and certainly online for the top 8 and in magnificent form. The Brisbane side for today is out there in a new strip, and if you're wearing sunglasses, you'd be well advised. Lockyer, Hancock, De Vere, Carroll, Saylor, Walker, Walters, Campion, Thorne, Tallis, G, Priddis, Webke, and coached by Wayne Bennett. The Eagles, and the good news is that Jeff Tuvey is there. He pulled out of the team last weekend, but he's there today to take on one of his great adversaries, Kevin Walters, in the number 7 shirt for Brisbane. And here's the Manly team. They're looking okay on the bench, as a matter of fact. J.SERDARIS in the 9 shirt. And here's their entire team. King at fullback, then Frew, Torrance, Hill, Reeves, Kosef, Tuvey, Ebril, Gartner, Menzies, Cunningham, Serdaris, Tierney. And that bench doesn't look too bad, does it? Hopewadi, Lyons, Adamson and Crouch, and coached by Peter Sharp.
And a man who really played well last week was Kevin Campion. He's in fine form. He came up with between about 45 tackles. He runs the ball strongly. A very busy player for the Brisbane side.
And on the other side of the coin, Daniel Gartner, a little bit disappointing early in the season, but really hit some form of late. 3 tries last week, part of this very powerful back row that Manly fields. He'll be a key figure for the Seagulls this afternoon.
And if Sterlo's voice sounds down, it's probably because Steve Roach is smiling like a split watermelon. The Balmain King is on the sideline.
Yeah, same situation as last year. Brisbane on a winning streak, Manly struggling, but were able to play well enough to win. And with Hill, Menzies and Gartner playing well, Manly would love nothing more than to win this one. Beautiful day, 15 degrees, a moderate sou'wester. The Broncos have won the toss and are running with the breeze.
This silence is being commemorated in memory of John O'Neill. He played for Manly and, of course, played with great distinction with them and, of course, South Sydney. Eight grand finals for 6 wins for Lurch. He played in 2 test matches and 3 World Cup campaigns. One of the great gentlemen of rugby league, and he lost his battle with illness and was buried on Friday. To his family, we extend our great sympathies.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Clark is the referee for this encounter today. There are plenty of people around that seem to think Manly are going to really push Brisbane. And Webke is the first one to bring it back for the Broncos, who are defending the southern end of the ground here at Brookvale today on a beautiful day. Not such a bad crowd either, as the Manly fans respond to not only the call of the marketing bureau here, but also, I suppose, the smell of Brisbane coming to town in their nostrils. Tallis, who's been one of the great form players of 1999, involved in the first handle of the football, the first set of 6 for the afternoon, as Walters now puts a clearing kick in, just in advance of a charge down from Menzies, and a fairly nervous pick up there by Andrew King, who joined Manly from the Gold Coast, and he is tackled just about 25 metres out from his own line. So the Manly Sea Eagles, it's been a desperate year for them, certainly disappointing to say the very least. Number 19 for them in the run-on side is Ebril, a Newcastle junior, and in his debut run-on game, the lock forward for Manly today, playing in 19 jumper. 8th for Brisbane, 12th for Manly, that's the way they shape up. Kosef playing at 5/8 today, though he's wearing the jumper number 13. Serdaris then kicking away from dummy half and sending it spinning down favourably for Saylor to come back and away from the 20-metre line. And he attracts the attention of 4 of the Manly Eagles, who are keen to let him up last. And this is Carroll, who was in doubt coming into the game, but Tony playing in the centres.
And the big question being asked of Manly today is, can they match Brisbane physically? We've seen the juggernaut that Brisbane have become over the last 11 or so weeks, just bash and batter sides out of the way. Manly hoping to counter them there, and that's probably one of the reasons Cliff Lyons has started from the bench. He'll come on after it's all settled down. Now a penalty go to Brisbane right in front for offside.
Yeah, they'll kick the touch here, you would imagine, although they'll have a much easier kick if they decide to go for goal, because Stephen Clark has marched Manly for back chatting. And I'm a little bit surprised. Maybe this is an indication that the Broncos believe this will be a closer game than many expect.
You're always in front of me. You never got back. You got to get back, and you went too early anyway, mate. So you got to get back. And you know what the story is about the mouth. Too close, though. That's it, absolutely.
Well, it's against J.SERDARIS for mouthing off, and I'm surprised anybody would have ventured into that territory following the kerfuffle after the Parramatta-Penrith game. But Jim obviously has said something to Stephen Clark, probably suggesting that the man has doubtful parentage or something like that.
This is a mark of respect for Manly from the Brisbane side, and I saw Wayne Bennett before the match. We had a little chat to him, and he said, look, whenever we come here, it's always a very hard battle. They're expecting the same today, despite the fact that Manly are well below Brisbane on the table.
Ben Walker taking the kick from 21 metres in from touch and just getting it there. A little bit wobbly, but it's there, and 2 points to Brisbane after just 3 minutes of time. And it was made ever so much more simple by the back chatting from J.SERDARIS.
We've given that young man plenty of raps over the last couple of weeks, and deservedly so, but an area we probably haven't stressed is his goal kicking. Aaron Lockyer's handled that job pretty well over the last couple of seasons, but Walker seems to be very accomplished, and I think will be a big plus if they do make it into the quarterfinals.
Brendan Reeves taking us into this next passage of play, and his kick meeting the breeze that's coming down the ground from behind Brisbane during the first half, and it's Webke now who will play the ball on his own 20-metre line. From Priddis, a dummy half, picking up Thorne, and Thorne was able to gain about 8 metres, and will play it back again for Priddis, who goes for a run himself and is cut down by the number 19 for the Manly side. Ebril, the lock forward. That pass way out in front of Tony Carroll. It finished up on the bounce for Hancock, and Hancock brings a roar from the Manly crowd as 3 of the Manly Eagles drive him into the turf, something that not too many have been able to achieve. Now Andrew G. Handled the captaincy well in the absence of Kevin Walters, who's back with the C next to his name these days, as Lockyer puts his kick down the ground. And Reeves comes back to the 10-metre line before starting his progress and linking up with Andrew King, who crawls the last couple of metres in a gain of about 7 metres. And it's a penalty.
All right.
It's against Brisbane this time for the infringement of being inside the 10. Webke, the offender. And Manly will kick for line from about 20 or 33 metres out from their own line. J.SERDARIS.
Thanks, Caddyshack. Back with him.
Formerly with South Sydney, of course, and with Western Suburbs. More recently, over the last few years, of course, Jim has been based here on the peninsula.
You got him, boys. There you go, Brad. Up, Brad.
Played them by Tierney. And Manly to within 22 metres of the line. And there's a player interfering with the play. It didn't bring a response from the referee. And O.CUNNINGHAM will play the ball now right in the centre of the ground. And a chance here for the Eagles as they come to the right, and Kosef is with it. Pushes it on for Hill. Played by Terry Hill, trying to play the ball, brings a penalty. Hanging on in the tackle. And so Manly most probably will take the kick for goal. In fact, that's the indication from the referee.
Yeah, Terry Hill really earned that penalty. Had a second go at it, and one player who always plays well for Manly against Brisbane is Terry Hill. He's had some blinders against the Broncos in the past, and they'll be looking to him today to lead the way out in the backs. And Brendan Reeves coming in to have this kick. I think he missed his first 4 shots at goal last week.
Talking of Terry Hill, I think the last time they played here was April of last year, and Manly were the winners that day. And I think Terry had a blinder against Steve Renouf.
Yes, he did on that day. Terry was on one of his good days, and on that particular night, Brisbane wore a blue outfit, which they got beaten 28-4, and the blue outfit was never seen again. I don't know if Brisbane can win in this outfit they're on today. I mean, have a look at them. They hardly look threatening, do they?
They were Blue Jays that night, Canaries this afternoon here at Brookie.
I might take a bunch of them home and pretend they're daffodils. 4 from 7 last week, and 65% strike rate for Brendan Reeves, the number 1 playing on the wing for Manly, and he hits it and pushes it wide. The chasers are coming down quickly though, and it will be a line dropout. Michael De Vere, who had a tremendous game in that encounter last Friday week against Sydney City, and just away to the right of the uprights off the boot of Brendan Reeves. Lockyer with the drop kick that goes about 48 metres on the fly. And Owen Cunningham takes it back. Met by Andrew G and Shane Webke before offloaded for Tierney. Tierney then for Eberl. 3 times he's run on off the bench, but this is his first time in the run-on side. Kosef across and delivering just a short ball on the inside for Gartner. And Daniel will play it. 20 metres in from touch, just inside the 30-metre line for Tierney again. And there's the ball away from Tierney. Good ball. And then Serdaris gets it away for Tuvey, and Tuvey has it taken off him in a one-on-one. De Vera's with it now for Brisbane. Well, that was a mighty fine pass from Neil Tierney. The big man took them on and still was able to slide it.
He's been in good form lately too, B for Tierney, and that was a great ball. And unfortunately for Eagles, Tuvey lost control, and the Brisbane side now get out of jail.
Webke. Thorne just beyond his own 40-metre line. Lockyer putting it down the ground, but straight to the fullback, and King had little work to do. Runs into a heavy tackle as he's halted about 25 metres out from his own line. Campion was up there, the main hitter.
An early rest for Gordon Tallis. Peter Ryan into the action. And the 2 competition points available for Brisbane this afternoon would see them leapfrog St George Illawarra, who went down on Friday night in that close one. And that would see them go into 7th position. Feel a little bit more comfortable there.
Brendan Reeves with a rather unorthodox carry of the football before Serdaris' kick hits the feet of a Brisbane player and bounces away favourably for Darren Lockyer, and that brings a clap from the crowd here at Brookvale. The Eagles supporters appreciating the work of Serdaris, mainly the kicker, and Gartner, who made the tackle. Played by Hancock to go right now for Walters, and then through for Ben Walker, and now out for Michael Revere. And Albert Torrens waiting for him, pulls him down just on the Brisbane side of halfway, then from Saylor across to Walker. That pass is a bad one. Chance for Manly. Crosshair for Hill. Hill to the 40-metre line. Brushes away. I thought he did for a moment from Carroll, but Carroll hangs on. And it's playback for young Andrew Frew, and a penalty goes to Manly. And just as well, because the pass from acting half was forward.
On that occasion, Shane Webke was the man in front of Stephen Clark. Jim Serdaris says though he will do most of the kicking this afternoon. Already a few in general play. All 3 for touch. Here's a chance. Gartner taking it inside the 10.
Talking to their marketing man and former first grader Peter Peters, he said, if we can get away to a good start, we'll give this mob something to go on with. And Cunningham strives for that. 9 metres away from the Brisbane line, right in the centre of the park. Manly anxious to put the ball over the line first. Kosef, rubbing kick. Hancock is back there and takes it over the dead ball line. But if you can't get 4 points, this is as good to get the football back. It's the second best anyway.
And if you can't run through them, kick through them. That's the adage I think Manly have taken today. We've seen so many teams over the last 11 weeks try and go through them, but the teams that have put some short kicks in have had some success. I know that is a tactic that Manly will follow all day.
Paul, I think they would also fancy the chances of Andrew Frew, who's a real speedster, maybe getting a bit of a fly on Michael Hancock. He'd take a while to turn around as Brendan Reeves, the other winger, takes a 31 out from the Brisbane line.
So it's Cunningham now. We got the impression that Sydney City were attacking Michael Hancock's wing the other night, but the old fella came up trumps anyway. Now Phil Adamson is on, did well, and now away for Daniel Gartner, and Gartner will play the ball. Phil Adamson, I'm reminded, is one of the really good ball players in the game. Back from St Helens, and now with Tuvey, this is Menzies. Menzies looking to unload. Ball comes down to ground. Brisbane have got it.
That's one!
Well, the thing about offloading the football, Ray, as Lockyer goes blindside and finds Wendell Saylor, it's whether you're going to pass to a person in a better position than what you are, and really Steve Menzies, there was no great percentage in that pass. No surprise to see a mistake forced. Brad Thorne now again takes the pressure off for the Broncos.
11.5 minutes into the game. 2 points to nil in favour of Brisbane. A penalty goal at the 3rd minute as Lockyer joins in, slices through. Carroll's with him. There's 4 points coming. Carroll's on his way for the upright, and he makes the first successful visit. Carroll scores for Brisbane. Lockyer opened them up out wide off a perfect pass, and Carroll supported on the inside.
Yeah, the high-profile players of Brisbane have been in marvellous form of late. None better than Darren Lockyer. This gave them the football. Steve Menzies trying to get some second phase going, tried to pop it out, but way too many players there. And then a simple one-on-one missed tackle with Darren Lockyer just getting on the outside through the tackle of Terry Hill. He got outside Gartner and positioned Tony Carroll beautifully. Frew did his best. The centre, who's come in for Steve Renouf, gets the first 4-pointer.
Yeah, well, Darren Lockyer has been their star, hasn't he, over the past couple of months, and he's done this time and time again. On the outside of Daniel Gartner, they just didn't read it at all, gave him too much space to work in, and well backed up by Carroll, and it's been converted by Walker.
So another 2 points onto the Brisbane tally. Gordon Tallis goes back on. It's Brisbane 8, Manly no score, and 13 minutes gone. Welcome to our audience in New Zealand, and welcome, of course, to our pay TV audience here in Australia. We hope you're enjoying the telecast, emanating, of course, from the National 9 network here in Australia. Reeves then at 8 points to nothing in favour of Brisbane. Said it 101 times, it's a crazy game, this game of rugby league, but just as Manly were looking as though there was some hope down the other end of the park, they tried to push the pass, and from the ensuing set of 6, Brisbane put it over the line at the other end. Steve Roach on the sideline.
Well, Terry Hill, who missed that tackle on Darren Lockyer, has gone into the game with a wrist problem. Now, he's already been treated by the trainers on a couple of occasions, so keep an eye on that. That was good play from the Brisbane Broncos to go to his side.
The difficult thing about playing against a side like Brisbane, and I'm not saying that Manly did on that occasion, but you can never relax. They're capable of putting points on from any part of the field. As Lockyer from centre field splits the fullback and the winger. It bounces towards Andrew Frew. Oh, no. There's just a horrible knock on. Absolutely no pressure on the young winger whatsoever. The chaser's still 10 metres away.
This scrum will go down in a very desirable position. The youngster cursing himself as he comes away, formerly with the Parramatta club, Andrew Frew.
The Broncos have really opened up the right side of the field. There you can see they've brought Tony Carroll to the left-hand side of the field. Serdaris now leaving, going to the blood bin. But you would expect the Broncos to attack the right-hand side. Probably Darren Lockyer, who's to the left-hand side of the scrum, to get involved going across his Cliff Lyons. Comes in and looks like he's going to halfback.
If Terry Hill's got a wrist problem, is it possible they might attack the short side, Peter? Here they are anyway. They're going open side, and it's Walker who slips. And they play the ball 10 metres away from the line. Walters and Campion combining, an intercept by Manly. Kings away. Over the halfway line before they round him up. Through from Kosef. Lions now. Adamson popping it down for Terry Hill. Back to where it started from for Ebrol. Played by Cunningham, and Tuvey runs it from dummy half. Crouch it is in 20 that's on. Now Torrens. And the line, as you can see, is 10 metres away. On the eastern side of the ground for Crouch again. 8-0. Manly trying to get back. To the blind side for Cliffy. Puts a grubbing kick through. And Lockyer tackle in goal. So again, Manly will get the football back.
I think Cliff Lyons will be a little bit disappointed that his outside men didn't stay deeper. It was 3-on-3 the blind side. They got the football through a timely intercept from Andrew King. Plenty of speed chasing. Saylor, Lockyer, Tallis was there as well. But on the last play at the other end of the field, the Brisbane winger did drop back fairly early on with Cliff the ball in his hands. And I think he would have liked to have thrown a cut-out pass, but they just got in front of him.
Lockyer again with a beautiful drop kick. 48 metres. The crouch. Kosev has been prominent. You'd like to think dominant, but it's not been the case for Manly so far. SERDARIS with the head bandage now. Lyons, it came off a Brisbane player. Menzies picks it up. That's the 10-metre line. SERDARIS hits the short side. So does Cliffy Lyons. He's over the old fella. Cliffy Lyons is in for Manly.
Well, the call for the video ref.
Just check to see how he got over the line.
Referee saying he did land short, and see how he got over the line. He definitely finished over the line. As to whether it's a double movement, that's the question that's being asked of the video referee. Cliff Lyons threw a big dummy there, had a shot himself, he got down low, he drove hard, as he has done over the last 15, 16 years. Wendell fell for it, comes up short, and I think the ball
that's fine.
slid over the line. That'll be a try. Well done, Cliff.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit like one we saw only a matter of weeks ago with Jason Smith, tackled short of the line, but the momentum of the tackle taking it on to the line, and that's exactly what happened there once again. That's a green light without any doubt.
The crowd not aware of the video referee decision yet, but they are now. It is green for go, and it's green for Cliff Lyons. 8 points to 4, Brisbane over Manly.
In fact, that try I'm talking about, the Jason Smith, was against Penrith last week. It proved to be an important one. Might be the case for Manly as well, as they get back into this game with a little bit of Lions magic.
What a great player he's been, Paul. It's his 85th career try.
Oh, he's one of the greats. He was named recently in a poll somewhere in the top 10 rugby league players of the 90s. And
that was the Big League magazine.
Yeah, Big League magazine, and he deserves to be in that. Of course, I played with him in the late 80s. He turned up at Brookvale in 1986, and he's just an absolute legend. He's done it time and time again. And when you consider he was in retirement this year, and it wasn't, I think, until round 4 that they decided to take off the mothballs and get him out for a run, and he's been one of their most consistent players all year.
Brendan Reeves now from the sideline. Not a murmur from the crowd. They're giving him every possible hope. 19 metres out, and he's hooked it a little bit away to the right of the upright. So we've got a scoreline of Brisbane Broncos 8, Manly 4, and we've had 19 minutes of time. Lockyer back to halfway. Takiri is out there for Brisbane in jumper number 18 now. Amazing how this crowd grew at a very late time today. At 2 o'clock it was down around 4,000 or 5,000, I would imagine, but it's probably up to double that figure now. And the crowd basking in the sunshine here at Brookvale. Beautiful part of the world. Frew playing it inside the 20-metre line. SERDARIS with the short ball. Hill makes a strong run. It ends just inside the 30. A quick play the ball. We'll go to Steve in a moment. Now SERDARIS out on the 40-metre line. Takiri's got him. Got the ball away. Well done, Jim SERDARIS. Now away for Cliff Lyons. Now on for Stephen Menzies. Outside the 40-metre line, and he's tackled near the halfway. Torrens this time. 17 is Tierney. And there's another example of Manly trying to push the unnecessary. Brisbane with it. Steve Roach sideline.
Yeah, just a quick one on Cliff Lyons. You see a lot of players come off the bench and they really struggle to get involved in the game. That's not the case with Cliff Lyons. He's straight into it. He's got that try after 3 minutes.
Kevin Walters using Gordon Tallis, running up his hip. Then Carroll stampeding over a would-be tackle from Serdaris. Play back for Walters. Now for Walker, and back for his captain. And Walters goes to ground 12 metres away from the uprights. But the Broncos running towards that northern goal line, and it's Lockier's pass for Carroll. And a penalty goes to Brisbane. It's inside the 10 against Manly.
Yeah, it's against Andrew Frew, and he was a long way offside, I must admit. The referee played advantage. And again, Brisbane opting to kick for goal.
Gee, times have changed, Sterlo.
We don't often see this do, but even following Alan Langer's retirement, you know, they would still run up and take a quick tap.
Well, maybe Paul hit it on the head earlier when he said this is a mark of respect for Manly when they took that initial penalty kick at goal.
Well, that's right. I think they believe that there might be points at a premium. This is a very good offload, obviously, from Gordon Tallis, and a pretty good tackle from Andrew King on Tony Carroll. And then, fortunately for Manly, late in the tackle count, the referee saw the winger.
I think when you check the program and look at some of the names in the Manly side, is it any wonder that some clubs still treat them with a great deal of respect? No need to go through the names I'm talking about. Here's Ben Walker now. From 19 out, and he's hit the upright. Bounce back into the field of play for Kosef. Sit down, fat man, to your mind. Kosef now. Ball out the back from Crouch for Lyons, and Lyons back for Serdaris, and Serdaris is able to get it to the 20-metre line. Menzies catch and pass. Good work by Manly. Torrens it was down the left flank. Menzies now. 6 from 12 for Manly, 7 from 9 for Brisbane. This is Crouch. 7 or 8 metres on their own side of the halfway, with Reeves and Crouch, and now for Kosef, and now for Hill. Good work, Terry Hill. Andrew Frew beats one, steps inside Tallis, but is driven down by Kevin Walters. Shane Walker is on, Peter Ryan is off. Across the line, Kosef for Lyons. Lyons puts the kick straight down at Wendell, and Saylor comes off his own line.
Yeah, good idea there from Cliff Lyons, but just the wrong kick. Needed to be 10 metres longer or 10 metres shorter. 10 years younger. Doesn't matter, he's 38, he's doing his best, but that was a promising play there from the Eagles, and some good defence from Brisbane.
We're all just doing our best, Paul.
Oh, strong hit on Webke. Kosef getting involved with Cunningham, it was. Now Walters kicking to clear. It's not something that he has to do a lot of these days. They make a habit almost of having Darren Lockyer up in the line. Here's Reeves with a good run to the halfway line. Equally good tackle by Michael De Vere. 19 is Ebrol. Crowd begging for a penalty. Inside the 10, they're saying ref. Now Kosef. Cunningham was with Manly, of course, OJ, and with the war he finished up with North Queensland as Tupi unloads for Gartner on the inside to the 20-metre line, and Kosef, the long ball for Lyons. What's he going to do? Put it through the hands. Second man play, picking up the number 19, Ebrol, and 5 tackles gone now for Manly. So Cliffy's with it again. He kicks out wide. He's looking for Hill and looking for Frew. Frew was with it, and Frew gets the ball back on the inside, but it goes forward, and the referee Clark will order a turnover.
Well, you've got to say it. When Cliff Lyons is on the paddock for Manly, they look much more confident. Their execution seems to be better. And Manly claiming there that there was nothing wrong with play on there. Stephen Clark said the ball had gone forward.
Shane Walker. This is what all the kerfuffle's over. This ball from Andrew Frew, does it go forward off the hands? And I've got no doubts that it did, really. I'm happy to run with Stephen Clark on that one. Now De Vere for Saylor, and Saylor backing through traffic. new faces out there for Brisbane at the moment. Philip Lee, I think, is one of them. And Shane Walker, as I said earlier, is also on. As his brother puts a kick in, Ben, it'll bounce and bounces hard and forward over the dead ball line. So Manly will bring it back, a free carry back to the 20-metre line. John Hopewadi about to come on. And what an up and down career it's been for him. It's been a real roller coaster ride. He's worn the green and gold for Australia. Played in grand finals. And not a multi-talented, but a tremendously talented player. Getting his life back together, and that's the good news. There he is, Big Johnny boy. Reception for him from Philip Lee. And now for Tuvey. Tuvey shows it on the inside, gives it the second time for Daniel Gartner.
Yeah, a lot of inside balls from Manly this afternoon. They believe they might be able to catch out some forwards for Brisbane, not coming across. Terry Hill getting involved now. Lyons stringing the passes together, throws the dummy. Well taken by De Vere, wrapped up, ball and all.
Play by Lyons then in a quick play of the ball. It's away to the right of the ground for Kosef. They go back to the short side and Serdaris rolls it over the side.
Well, the Eagles are testing Brisbane, aren't they? Brisbane, of course, have been the form side in the last 3 months, and they're playing all right, Brisbane. Manly are really putting it to them.
2-2 the line breaks, 8-4 the scoreboard in favour of Brisbane. One try in that Brisbane score of 8. And Cliffy Lyons responded with a try for Manly.
I know sometimes the tackle counts can look a little bit lopsided at times with this unlimited interchange, but a big rap to Owen Cunningham, who at this stage of the game has 15 tackles next to his name. That's a long way in front of anyone else in the Seagulls lineup, as Walker has tackled 30 out. Hancock scoots from dummy half, taken head on there by Jeff Tuvey.
Kenny Walters with a pass along the line. Shane Walker did very well. Gordon Dallas gallops into open space. Support coming on the inside. De Vere is there, and De Vere is put down 15 away from the line. Torrens was the tackler, but Brisbane have got numbers down the blind side as Walters is tackled over there. Tackle 5. Cross for Lockyer to roll it into the end goal. Lockyer puts it down. Lockyer scores for Brisbane. Well, Manly just could not number up, and Lockyer has scored a try that appeared with ridiculous ease.
Yes, but it was perfectly executed, and it is a result of this break made by Gordon Tallis. A lovely ball there from Walker. Tallis gets through the tackle of Steve Menzies. He had De Vere on the inside in support. Pretty good work from Torrens. And then the blind side was attacked. And as Lockyer gets the football and we freeze it there, that is Andrew King. He's the fullback. He would normally be covering this area. And as the kick is put through, he's a long way from doing so. And Darren Lockyer, just a stroll in the park to gather the football and put it down.
Yeah, great stuff from Lockyer. Lockyer and Tallis have been the stars today for Brisbane in the opening half an hour. Every time Tallis has got the football, something is happening. He's offloading or making busts, and then Lockyer's finishing off all that good work.
Let's not forget the pass that put Tallis through the gap. It was from Shane Walker. And there's Ben converting the try. Scored by Darren Lockyer. And 14-4. The Broncos over the Eagles after 29 minutes. So the third try of the afternoon. 2 for Brisbane, 1 for Manly. Brisbane looking consummate in what they do. $10 points the margin in favour of Brisbane, with about 10 minutes of the first half to go. And it is Ben Walker pulled down back on the Brisbane 20-metre line. On the Western Grandstand side play with Hancock, and Lyons is back on the bench at the moment. Bradley Thorne. Curtis through from G. This is Campion. 45 metres out from the Brisbane line. Kevin Walters, his kick. Heading for the touchline, but taken in by Andrew King when the bounce favoured him, really. He's way back just outside his 10-metre line. And that is a penalty to Manly against Brisbane. And it's against the marker, in this case Shane Walker, for not facing up square in that marker position. See how he just got off to the side? You can't do that. J.SERDARIS with the line finder. They'd love to go to the break with another try on the board, wouldn't they? Manly. Cunningham. People watching us in Brisbane, of course, will be treated to a super game, one of the blockbusters of '99 next Friday at ANZ, when one of the most popular sides in Australia, Parramatta, will journey to Brisbane to take them on. And what will be another great Friday night encounter, I'm sure. The Eels coming off a loss last night. Here's Phil Adamson.
Yes, in the last 2 seasons.
Oh, that's good work. Sorry, Peter.
Work. I was just going to say Parramatta have a tremendous record against the Broncos recently, so that will be an acid test up there. Tuvey tackles 42 out centre field, and Nick Kosef, first receiver, onto Terry Hill. Good battle between him and Carroll going on.
Adamson treating them with disdain, really, in a beaten side. It's quite amazing some of the things that he's doing. He's playing very confidently, almost cockily, I think is the way of describing it. So the kick rolled down for Lockyer to bring it back from off his own line, and he'll play at 15 away from the Brisbane line. Penalty to Brisbane against Manly inside the 10 now.
Ray, the kicks at this end of the field as we see another marching at 10 metres. This time it's Nick Kosef. Oh, well, hang on. He's already got J.SERDARIS for being guilty of back chatting.
Mate, he had a shot at me, descent, and he had another go as he was going past. Mate, you need to get that blood cleaned up too, Jeff.
Well, again, you pointed out, Ray, after last week's episode, you wouldn't be saying a word to Stephen Clark. Not one out of, let alone one out of place.
No.
No. Repairs on the run there for Jeff Tuvey after he'd been told to go to the blood bin by the referee. Well, even Penrith last Sunday, they had a warning of something was going on when Jim Dimmock was sent to the bin for dissent, and then 2 of them from Penrith followed him to the sin bin. So it all comes down to a lack of discipline, and Manly are not showing any of it today in that same area. And they've had a week to think about it. De Vierda. And we're dealing with the same sheriff. This is Peter Ryan. Trouble here for Manly. And Lockyer looks around. The ball goes back, and there to pick it up is Daniel Gartner for Manly. But that was a certain 6-pointer coming up. Had Lockyer been able to find some support.
Yeah, very lucky there for the Eagles on that occasion. Once again, it was that man Lockyer bursting through a gap. Looked like he was going to score. Good tackle there from Brendan Reeves. And the Eagles lucky to get out of that one.
Terry Hill outnumbered 4-1.
It's a pretty fair ball from Peter Ryan to put Lockyer into the clear as well. And associating with sleight of hand with the football. Brendan Reeves. Took a good 10 metres on the short side. Last tackle now against the Eagles. J.SERDARIS shaped the kick.
This is going to go in touch in goal. It'll be back to the 20-metre line for Brisbane to have the next set of six.
Well, the last 4 kicks that Manly have come up with down at this end of the field have put absolutely no pressure on Brisbane whatsoever. I think they've got to get to a stage now where they're prepared to put up a bomb and just get plenty of chasers going through, which will make it very, very easy for Brisbane to come out of their own end.
Webke now. Bridas away from dummy half. Been a big plus for Brisbane. very important part of the team. Now De Vere. And a floating pass finding the captain, Kevin Walters. With a 7 on his back today. 37 metres away from the Manly line on the last tackle, and Lockyer able to get a high kick in, and then it's put down by Reeves, and a knock-on has been ordered by Stephen Clark.
And there's a lesson there for Manly. That's what they should be doing at the other end of the park. On that occasion, Lockyer, a towering bomb, and Reeves didn't have to leave the ground, but there was plenty of pressure coming through from Peter Ryan, and the ball's gone loose. And Brisbane, you think, against a 12-man Manly side, might be looking at another try.
Tallis packing into the back of the scrum, Lockyer to the right. And Walters goes to the right, looking over his shoulder on the inside for Gordon Tallis. It doesn't come to fruition. Wide ball for Ben Walker. They're one-on-one at the moment, but Walker's outstepped them and put it over the line. Ben Walker scores for Brisbane. Well, that was too easy, really. Everything was going according to the manual, but then Walker was able to step and beat them and reach out and put it down.
He seems to be getting 1 try a week, doesn't he, Ben Walker? But we haven't seen him score any easier one than this. A little step inside, back, almost anticlimactic. The crowd here very, very silent.
Yeah, all the Manly defence going sideways and backwards, and that just allows Walker to take them on, run at them, and he bangs it down. Good player, Ben Walker, and getting better with experience. And maybe he's the next Alan Langer. Maybe he will take them into the millennium as their next superstar.
Well, it was Dan Gartner's to be taken, and he dropped off him and left him for somebody back on the inside, but all that's very dangerous when you're working 5 metres out from the try line. Thus Ben Walker puts it over the line and extends this lead to 18 points to 4 and 3 tries to 1. 22 metres out. 16 in from touch. He's pushed it out to the right. It came back in off the uprights to get the 2 points. 20 points is there. 16 the difference, Stephen.
Well, how costly the sin binning 10 minutes before half-time. Brisbane Broncos are a sort of side that can put 2 or 3 tries on you. I'm a little bit worried about that defence there from Manly. They look tired, and it was too simple. There's the goal kick. Just swings in off the upright. Beautiful kick.
Well, disappointing for Manly, to say the least. I was only explaining earlier how the crowd really grew in the last 20 minutes before kickoff, and it's a respectable crowd to be watching a team that's down in 12th position. And you've got to think that most of them are here to barrack for Manly against a team from interstate. But at the moment, a most disappointing performance. It had some hope surrounding it, I thought, after about 15 to 20 minutes, but that seems to have faded. Thorne is put down back on his own 20-metre line. Webke now next in the queue. Saylor. Campion this is. 14 missed tackles by the Manly side. Now wide for Lockyer, just holds it back to put Tallis through a hole. No, he didn't get through it. Tuvey put him down. Lovely bootlace tackle. Tony Carroll gets it away. Lockyer puts in the left foot kick. Everybody's onside, but the ball is going straight to the fullback. And Reeves brings it back to the 10-metre line, beating one, stepping inside a second. Through. Serdaris now. And away from Ebrel through the hands of 2 others before finding Torrens at outside centre. Hopewadi it is, in fact, out there on the left of the ground. And the siren for half-time. So Brisbane leading by 16. And 3 tries on the board up against Manly's 1 try. And a lot of work to be done by Manly if they're going to stay in this contest. Already it's looking fairly ominous. 20 points to 4 then at half-time as we take a break. We'll be back with the second half from Brookie in just a moment. Welcome back. Brisbane 20, Manly 4. 16 points the margin, 3 tries to 1.
Okay,
Manly with Nick Kosef in the bin, and that's got about 3 minutes remaining. Minor adjustments there for Kevin Walters. Let's hope they're minor anyway. Mitsubishi brings us the halftime statistics, and there they are. 20 points to 4 the scoreline.
And for Manly to be a chance in this game, they had to have a majority of possession and control it. And as you can see from the completion rate there, they have failed to do so. Very dangerous with the football, Brisbane. 5 line breaks. I'm sure that Wayne Bennett will be very happy with only 6 missed tackles and 3 handling errors.
O.J. Cunningham back with the Eagles and playing very well this year. 20 tackles. And Greg Ebrel is a good player. Got good speed across the ground. He's having a fine match as well. Whilst for the Broncos, Luke Prittis, Shane Webke, Kevin Campion, Andrew G, all sharing the work.
Stephen Clark hasn't endeared himself to the Manly crowd. He's penalised a couple of their players for back-chatting and in fact put Nick Kosef, where he is at the moment, in the bin. And just repeating, he's got 3 minutes of sin bin time remaining. The Manly 5/8 for the day, Nick Kosef. As Ebrel, the number 19 that Paul was talking about, in his debut run-on game, is tackled just outside the 20-metre line. And Andrew Frew now, halfway through the tackle count, put down just inside the 30. This is Cunningham. And away from Serdaris for Lions to clear and complete the set for Manly. With Darren Lockyer running right back and watching it roll down the hill and away to come back out to the 20 for the restart for the Broncos. Steve Roach is back from the sheds. Yes, Steve?
Yeah, I got little Alfie with me. Alfie, Wayne Bennett would have been pretty happy in the first half. They looked to me like they were in second gear, the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, that's right. They've made a few mistakes, but they've really got to slow the Manly attack down. They're getting a lot of balls away, so that's what Wayne Bennett wants them to do this half.
What about defensively? Manly have asked him plenty of questions, turning the football back on the inside. Did he say anything about that?
Yeah, as I say, they've got to stop the unloads, but they're going fine at the moment. I think they really need to score first this half to put Manly away.
Alf, into the breeze in the second half. How important is it to get off to a good start?
Yeah, it is. Well, you just don't want Manly back in the game. If they score first try, they'll bar up a little bit and try and overcome the Broncos.
I've got to ask you, mate, what about the speculation of you going to England, true or false?
I've spoken to a couple of clubs, Blocker, but still nothing in concrete yet.
Thanks very much for your time, mate. Good luck.
See you, Blocker.
Well, Andrew King has gone in to take that high ball. It's gone straight through his arms, and luckily for Manly, it's Reeves who brings it away. Steve, on the sideline with you again.
Yeah, Peter Sharp, he said, you know, you should get a lot of confidence when you've got the football in that first half. They kept them guessing. You know, their attack was pretty good. They played some good footy, but he said the pressure's on. You've got to concentrate. The silly errors are costing us, and he was very disappointed, you know, with their discipline in that first half. They've got to improve that.
Here's Gartner picked up and put down by Tallis. Underneath, G over the top, 2v out from dummy half, leaving the 40-metre line behind him. Lyons is with it, and Lyons will be made to play the ball. 5 metres from the halfway line. 20 points to 4 in favour of the Broncos, with Campion lying in the back of the play the ball, not helping matters. Andrew King puts in a kick. It really is a nothing kick. It bounced very favourably for Lockyer, who comes back, and Saylor runs an angle. Wendelman is 35 metres away from his own line as Brisbane start a new set for them. They've been completing very, very well. Tallis now almost to the halfway line. Campion, and now Kosef comes back to give Manly their full complement. Walters for G, G for Webke, Webke on the run, back for G. got the ball away. Lockyer has to hurdle him, then back for Walker. Walker keeps it away from the Manly players, gets it around the corner for Priddis. Priddis then dummies on the inside to Webke, takes the tackle and will play the ball quickly, I would imagine, 12 metres out from the Manly line, and they go down the short side. Ben Walker, Tony Carroll. Carroll is held with the line a metre away. Fifth tackle now. Lockyer is behind the ruck. Ball goes back to Kevin Walters, who puts it on the chest of Lockyer. Lockyer goes to the air again, and it's going over and across for De Vere. De Vere for Saylor. And Saylor is held there by the Manly number 1, Reeves. Some assistance from Torrens, and eventually they put him over the sideline. But really the difference is the same.
Very important set of 6 this for Manly, because Brisbane have come out and started absolutely brilliantly with a lot of pace. Manly are in slow motion mode at the moment. They need someone to take it upon themselves to just get going.
Poor old Webke just felt the full wrath of Andrew G.
They're right behind each other.
Come on, look!
This might serve the Manly cause just a little bit as they take this penalty off their own 30-metre line. Cunningham now. Kosset. Ebrel. Now Hopperway. Zerdaris back to the open side to Kosset, and Kosset looking for runners, almost begging for runners, and Hopperway puts it on the ground. Brisbane have got it. Luke Priddis will play at centre ground on his own 30-metre line.
Well, in the first half, Manly made 3 handling errors and Brisbane came up with 3 tries. Brisbane looking to make the Eagles pay again.
Manly inside the 10 again. Fortunately, no back-chatting this time. Now, did they retire the 10? That's the question. The referee lets it go. Walters passes to the right for Walker. Walker then, that was a forward pass to De Vere. You don't need to tell the Manly crowd. They've already told the referee half an hour beforehand.
Manly feed loose.
Yeah, pretty scrappy 6 minutes to start this second half. This occasion, Walker just held the ball back a little bit too long. De Vere got in front. And Cliff Lyons trying to organise things over there in this scrum win. Been a distinct lack of runners on a couple of occasions for Manly in this second half. And that will need to improve.
Lyons put down right in the centre of the ground. Kosset now. Kosset, a dummy, and then down the right side. 30-metre line. Terry Hill. Good field position for Manly. And a penalty goes to Brisbane.
Hey!
Well, don't tell me Serdaris has shot his mouth off.
Come here. Just wait here, mate. Terry. Hey, get away, Kevin. Hey, mate, the penalty was you were tackled here, and, mate. You were tackled. Just let me finish. Yeah. You were tackled here. You walked forward twice, mate. You come down. Yes, you did, and that's what the penalty is for. Jimmy, you go again.
Well, if memory serves me correctly, it's the second offence for Serdaris.
Everyone knows. Mate, that's what the penalty was for, mate. He was coming around for. Well, I didn't think so. If I thought it was going the other way around, it would have gone the other way around.
Yeah, Serdaris was penalised early in the game. Since then, Kosset has been sent to the sin bin for the same offence, and now Serdaris is back in the cells himself. I realise that Stephen Clark is enforcing something that referees haven't been enforcing prior to last weekend. Certainly not as rigidly as they are at the moment. But it's there for everybody to see and has been for a week now. And it would seem a couple of Manly players don't want to take any notice of it. Clark, the man in the minds of everybody at the moment, that supports the maroon and whites. Away from Peter Ryan now for Lockyer. And his kick is purposeful and high and plenty of time. In fact, Saylor, he couldn't get to the contest. Albert Torrance taking him, well, not taking him out, but getting in his road, stopping Saylor doing anything. This is Reeves.
Well, what chance do you give yourself against a team like Brisbane, playing against them one man short for 20 minutes, a quarter of the game? You're just committing suicide. And you've got to believe that Brisbane, better than anybody, are going to make you pay for it.
It's a very heavy tackle on Ebril. And it was Andrew G. Now Hopewati. Did well, Hoppers, before Kosef got a pass from him that he wishes he didn't. Hancock throwing him to the ground. King with good hands, and then evasion, and then Ebril has an air swing. Menzies picks it up, but the ball has been propelled forward. And it's a handover on the 30-metre line. Great field position for the Broncos.
Yeah, comedy of errors there, and I think Steve Menzies lucky not to be pulled up for being offside. Might have been a touch in front of Ebril, and he dropped it.
Let's have a look at it, Pete.
Not much in it. The referee said 6 again. Here's Wendell Saylor up the middle of the ruck. Gets the ball away, and he'll score.
Ben Walker, no, Peter, don't go off half-cock today. We did that Friday. Walker plays the ball. Pritters across. Walters along. Over the head of Lockyer. On the bounce for Carroll. And Carroll is put down 11 away from the line. Steady nostril, steady as you go. Now Walters. Walters!
I learned from a master.
Pritters' pass, a shocker. Ben Walker. Now for Michael De Vere, extending and putting it over the line. Michael De Vere. He has solved a problem for Brisbane. I understand the opposition mightn't be in the silk department, but by Jove, I've got to wrap on this kid, De Vere. 24-4 the Broncos.
So does his coach, Wayne Bennett. Very happy with his attitude and obviously what he's doing on the field. And just have a look, they are one man short. If we freeze it there, you can see that the number 3, Albert Torrance, allowed De Vere to get on the outside, and he was never going to be able to stop that try from being scored. Crook pass from dummy half. They've cleaned it up well. Walker again throwing the nice ball. And his centre getting outside the opposing centre to score the try.
Yeah, come here, please. That's it. Thanks, sir. It was a push off. No, not yet. It's a push off the ball. That's what you heard what it was, and it says cut the rubbish out, all right? Mate, I'm laying down the law what I want. And then I scored from out of there. Go on, out. Thanks, Nash.
What was that all about?
Sure, so there was an incident, something about a push off the play the ball. Thorne there and Tierney pushing the face there for Beefer from Thorne. Much doing. And here's the incident that saw Jim Sedaris gets him in the penalty against Terry Hill. Well, he actually penalised Terry Hill for moving off the mark to play the football. And I suppose you would have to agree with that. And then mouthing off for Jim Sedaris. Down to 12 men and a Brisbane try.
Looking at that, Jeff Tuvey has absolutely got no argument there with the clash between Thorne.
Walker then.
Manly forward.
The conversion of the De Vere try. From 24 metres out, it's on line. Walker building up his points total. 26-4, 51 minutes gone. The Broncos over the Eagles.
It's 22, Canterbury 18.
Tallis and Lottie Takiri back on the bench with Brisbane comfortable at 26-4. And Reeves restarts for Thorne to take it back. Big second rower put down heavily. And high too, I believe.
Yeah, high tackle by Nick Kosef. The referee's ruled here. He's called him out.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Mate, just sort of high from where I don't know what you guys are going to do to bloody get you guys to understand. Mate, okay, yeah, get it down. It's all right. It's on report. Yeah.
So it's on report, the tackle of Kosef on Thorne. And I think Kosef was about, or did, in fact, mouth off again to Stephen Clark there. Because I distinctly heard the referee say, I don't know what you fellas are going to do before you get the message. I've got a funny feeling Nick might have been verbally giving it to him again. So there's not much wrong with Brad Thorne. There he is on the next set of 6, taking it ahead to the Manly 40-metre line. And now Andrew G around behind Campion. Walker combines with Lockyer, and Lockyer gets a pass away before hitting the ground. Ryan is with it, and he's put on the ground by Crouch, 30 metres off the Manly line. Walker then, and Philip Lee trying to get a pass back in for his captain, but he's tackled 20 metres away from the Manly line. Walker then leads the attack, puts a kick in. Manly with King coming off their own line.
Obviously, Brisbane only concerned with the 2 competition points this afternoon as Manly get a penalty to play the ball infringement against Luke Prittis. But they would also like to rack up as many points as they can. 4 and against could come into the equation. If they did happen to finish on the same amount of points as, say, Canberra,
yeah,
then that could become very important. So they'll be keen to make sure that there's as many points on the board and conceding as few as possible.
There are probably 3 contenders for 33 points at the end of the year, Peter, and they are Canberra and Brisbane and Newcastle. If they lost their last couple, I think would finish on 33 as well.
And who knows, there might be a draw in there. St George could be finished. George Illawarra, I'm sorry, could finish there. So there's plenty of possibilities. What you've got to do is make sure that you're best served by your performances, and that means to win the games, win them by as many as possible.
Crouch put away. Right on that 40-metre line, Brisbane's end of the park. Manly's Lions putting a little kick in. Menzies will get a regather, then puts another kick in, and it's taken the ground and cleaned up by Wendell Saylor.
Nice work from Manly. Good tactic there from Cliff Lyons. Another one in behind the Brisbane line. We've seen other clubs do that with some success. But just watch on Menzies' right. Gartner was unmarked. He's on the outside of Kevin Walters, and Wendell Saylor did very well to clean that one up. The master at work, Cliff Lyons. Plenty of speed there for Menzies. Gartner looming up on his right, didn't see him. And they'll get the ball back, the Eagles.
He's got to get more involved, Steve Menzies. He's continuing to play wide, but the play's not coming to him. He's got to come in the middle and start taking some ball.
Tooby then, running off to the right of the ground, showing it and then giving it. And Eberl will play it close to the line. Adamson is on, in fact. Now Kosef. Tooby again, off to the right of the ground and deciding to take them on, but Webke and Walters dragging him down. Hopewadi for Kosef, Kosef for Lyons. Lyons, a short ball for Menzies, but Brisbane, they read it well. They all went for Menzies, and they were right. This is the last. Lyons back and across, and it's taken in the in goal by Saylor to go back to the 20-metre line for the restart. And a quick one it is too for the Broncos, with Lockyer and Hancock combining, and Cliff Lyons pulling Hancock down eventually. Now it's a penalty to Manly. And 10 minutes in the bin for Hancock for mouthing off this time.
Well, he's making a habit of it, Stephen Clark. That's the neat half dozen in the last 2 games he's put into the sin bin for mouthing off.
Terry Hill.
I've never seen a referee change his decision. I'm quite sure what the players are hoping to achieve. As Phil Adamson takes it inside the 10.
Tooby. 3 times from dummy half, 3 times consecutively to the right of the ground. Now for GARTNER, and that's the try line, right in front of Daniel. To the right of the ground, and they must get it over. Yes, Phil Adamson. Broncos lying all over the park at the moment. Yes, hee-haw. Adamson scores for Manly, 26-8.
As we freeze it there, you can see there's just no defence. This player's come up quickly, and there's 3 support players on the outside. One of those is Phil Adamson, and he decides to go straight through the tackle of Darren Lockyer. They only had 11 in the defensive line. They've got 1 in the sin bin, and 1 player still down hurt after making that strong tackle on Daniel GARTNER.
Yeah, well, that was Michael Hancock. That's his wing, and that's why the space was there. They hadn't adjusted Brisbane. So Phil Adamson, who's done some good things since he's been on, gets a try for the Eagles.
Still plenty of concern about the player down for Brisbane. It may be... What might be... Brutus, is it? Oh, no, it might be Shane Walker. Looks like one of the Walker brothers, and Ben was standing in front of him, so I would imagine that is Shane Walker. This is the sin binning. Cliff Lyons, well, he grabs him a couple of times. Michael Hancock believes that Cliff Lyons grabbed his jumper and pulled him down. And some expletives used. And the referee said, "You're gone as well."
Walker then to the blood bin. And Reeves with this attempted conversion of the Phil Adamson try. 9 in, 21 out. On the eastern side of Brookvale, and it's away again to the right of the uprights. It is 26-8. Brisbane over Manly. 18 minutes gone, second half. It's very difficult, let me tell you, sitting next to one of Manly's favourite sons in commentary. And they're getting beaten and doing some stupid things. I thought Sterling was bad, but I'll tell you something, Fat Man's even worse. Now for Cunningham. Serdaris back from the bin, and this is Phil Adamson again. Hopewadi, run from dummy half, away from Webke, and got it out beyond the 40-metre line. Serdaris trying to milk a penalty from the referee as Lyons leads the attack up for Menzies. Menzies. Ball went forward, I think, off the hands, and it will be a scrum to pack about 5 metres on the Brisbane side of halfway. Just there it happened, and it was a knock on by J.SERDARIS trying to recover the ball that was offered to him by Steve Menzies. Now Walker's injury, let's take a report from Steve Roach. Steve?
It was Shane Walker, the number 16, the brother of Ben. He's just gone to the sideline. He's got a gash on his head. They're just going to sew him up, and I suppose he'll be back out there.
That's the incident that Steve's talking about. It was a head clash. And the number 16, Shane Walker, coming off second base. So some needle work on him. As Campion reaches the Manly 40-metre line. Philip Lee at dummy half at the moment. Luke Prittis back on the bench. Some rest time. Does a good job, Philip Lee. Great talented player. That's him with the ball now. Crunched over the top by Adamson. Menzies underneath. And Ben Walker waits to offload to the left of the ground for Walker, for Walters to juggle. And then Thorne to put a kick in, and it bounces and finds the touchline. Big representative second row putting in a kick. I don't know whether it was through ability or whether it was just good fortune. Almost an hour of the game gone, 26-8 in favour of Brisbane. A couple of very big matches coming up during this week. And I've already told you about Friday night, Brisbane playing the Broncos playing Parramatta, but on Sunday we've got the Roosters versus the Dragons at 4 p.m. next Sunday. And that will take us next Sunday into the first night of the Pan Pac Swimming Championships from Homebush. Terry Hill there trying to run around them, but Campion is there together with Ben Walker. Talking of the Pan Pac Swimming Championships, you'll see them right through the week after next. Sunday to Sunday in prime time from 7 o'clock. Action live from Homebush. Stars of the pool back in action against the Americans, I might add. Lyons now with his kick for Takiri, and Takiri 7 metres into Manly's territory.
I've seen some poor kicking games this year, Ray, but I think that Manly's, in this particular game, just might have exceeded all of the others. That kick from thick lines probably went 25 metres straight to the winger, who ran it back 20 metres.
Quick exchange and through the hands, finding Sailor's wing. Wendell will play the ball. 168 tackles for Manly, 180 for Brisbane, with Priddis now taking it towards centre ground. He's just inside that 20-metre line. Thorne comes off and Webke comes off, and G goes back on. Tallis brushes away one. And who was there waiting for it was Lockyer, but Tallis made to play the ball as they come to the right of the ground. They're working inside the 20-metre line, and Walker's kick is a shocker. Sailor goes back about 7 metres to take it. Then he goes forward, then gets a pass inside. Walker throws it back looking for support. Menzies had it and lost it. Brisbane's got it for 6 more.
That's 0. It was knocked on by Steve Menzies.
0 tackle for Brisbane. Sailor for the line and throws the pass, even with 6 tackles remaining. And Gartner plays it for Manly. King. Lyon. Cutting out Menzies. This is Torrin. 25 from their own line, Manly. Papawati. Reeves. Zebrel. Tierney. Pass away for Serdaris on the bounce. Looked a shade forward. Then Lyons. Now Torrens. Kosef. Put down by Cunningham and went forward. Picked up by Tuvey. It'll be recalled for the scrum.
Well, the game's become a little scrappy. Manly have tried hard. Their execution today hasn't been the best, but Brisbane, maybe that long run, 11 games in a row, looking for 12 at the top. Some very bruising encounters are starting to take its toll on the Broncos. They haven't looked that flash today. They played well at times. Steve Renouf on the bench there looks on, heading to Wigan, end of the season.
Tuvey looking at the touch judge, claiming that Lockyer lost that ball in the tackle. Andrew G. Brisbane playing with 12 men still. Hancock with a couple of minutes still to go in the sin bin. From Priddis back, and then they go back into the middle for Tallis, and was he tackled? Not with the ball. Clark is quite happy with it and says play on. Kosef. Hopewadi on the right flank. Takiri on Hopewadi. That was the tackle where I thought there might have been a player tackled not in possession, but it was okay, quite clear. Ebrel.
Still a chance this side if they can get a quick play the ball. No, they've gone to where they've got 2 or 3 players in all the defence.
Getting here eventually, but probably all too late, and now Manly knocks on.
Yeah, I will, mate. Blood Ben, mate. Go and get it fixed up. No, not yet, mate.
As I said, going through the half-time statistics, to be a chance this afternoon, Manly had to be at their best. They'd have majority of football, control it well, and through a good kicking game, play at the other end of the paddock. And really, they've failed in all of those assignments. Blood in there, and he's gone quite well. I haven't seen Edward play before. He's been fairly impressive in a badly beaten side.
Set play by Brisbane, with Lockyer eventually to Walker, Walker to Keary, spinning out of some very fragile tackles. Not a great deal of purpose about any of them, really, and Keary eventually made to play the ball on the 30-metre line. We're Manly's end of the park at the moment. This is G. Last home game for Manly, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, that's right.
Campion back for Luke Prittis. Comments there from Paul Vorton.
Good commentary, that.
Campion out, acting half. Walters showing it both ways before being put to ground eventually by Nick Kosef. Here goes Prittis again, working on the short side with Carroll. Numbers equal out there. The fifth tackle is with the Broncos, so to the air will they go. Coming through the hands to a second receiver, still through the hands. Now for De Vere. De Vere taken by Lyons and by Menzies. That's the turnover. Torrens just beyond the 20. Step from Reeves. Nice work. But he's on his own. If he's looking for a maroon and white jumper, he won't find one. Poor old Brendan Reeves was looking around for something that resembled the same jumper as himself. Couldn't be found, apart from over the fence in amongst the crowd. Serdaris, Tierney. Tribby, Kosef. Gartner now. 10 metres from the line. King away for Lyons. Lyons shows it, gives it, crouches with it. Menzies runs it decoy, then Lyons. It's a try for Brendan Reeves. All right. I do think he's got it down in time. Although the touchy.
I think this will be against a defender, is it, Gray? Because he's given the try.
26-12.
And good on Brendan Reeves because he started the try in motion with this great run. Support took half an hour to find him. The closest man ended up being Daniel Gartner, who went to dummy half. Then at the end of the set of 6, Cliff Lyons handles a couple of times. Throws the ball back inside to Crouch. Crouch kept it alive. Back to Lyons. And Cliffy the basketball over the top. And let's just make sure that he does get this down properly. This head-on shot should show.
Well, he started at Brendan Reeves with a slashing run, and he's finished it with a dive over in the corner after the master again had wielded some magic. He's played all right too, Stephen Crouch, today. He's taken them on. He offloads here, and then Napa saw some space out there over the top, and Reeves just dives to the corner. And yep, there you go. You think?
No, it's okay. He
Yeah,
got it down with enough pressure.
Fine and dandy.
It might have squeezed out and looked to be loose after it was put down, but there's no problem
They're
there.
on the way back, the Eagles.
Got to the Leagues Club.
Reeves from the touchline. 26-12, and this one he's got coming around. It's okay. 26-14. Reeves completes it for himself. (26-14). 11 minutes of the game to go. Crouch played a big part in the try. Incredibly, sitting looking at the game, you'd probably think that Brisbane's in front by a bigger margin than they are. They're 12 in front with 4 tries to 3.
I do think this is the kind of game that Brisbane needed in some way, Ray, because I don't think they're at their best. They're up against a side in Manly that have struggled all year, and the majority of this game, I think, have struggled again, despite the fact they've crossed 3 times.
Tuvey. Crouch. A lot of inside passes from Manly today. Lions kicking for Menzies. Lockyer in a test, but he came up with it on the half volley. Sailor. Oh, away from Lions. And tackled down on the Manly 40-metre line. Walters. Pass finding Lockyer. Another very involved performance by Darren Lockyer. Loves being somewhere near the football. That pass looks to me as though it might have gone forward. Referee Stephen Clark indicates as such. And the scrum will pack 20 metres away from the Manly line. This is the pass that has been deemed to go forward. And Manly will have the loose head and foot. And Walker stitches in that right eye. Just a little over 8 minutes to go now. Menzies. In the centres from the scrum. Torrens now for Reeves. And Reeves jinking and going back. Kosef. Adamson. Short pass away. Gartner gallops down towards the corner. Manly looking for another try. Gartner pulled down. 8 metres off the line. King. Off the hand of Lyons. Coming down for Walker. Walker loses the ball. Manly crowd is up and down like a fiddler's elbow. I don't know whether to cheer or cry. Now they're cheering. Now Adamson.
Ah, they're on fire, the Eagles.
Up and down out of their chairs like a barber's cat. Hill away. They're going to do it. They've done it.
Daniel Gartner.
Daniel Gartner scores. The fat man leads the cheer squad. Sit down, you idiot.
How good are they
Sit down,
going?
you idiot.
Daniel Gartner, man of the match.
Oh, what about the pass from Phil Adamson to Gartner? He had Terry Hill on his right-hand side, but he tried to step inside Lockyer. And the defence got there in the end. And then Jeff Tuvey saw some space down the right-hand side. Lovely ball from Terry Hill onto Gartner. Can Brendan Reeves convert this one to put them 6 behind with time on the clock?
Well, they have shown a lot of spirit, haven't they, Manly, to come back. And, I mean, Brisbane are starting to look a little bit tired. As I said, those 11 games in a row they won, maybe it's starting to take its toll. Good hands there from Terry Hill. And Gartner, who started it with that slashing run, a big right foot step. He's always had that. And they need this kick.
Good to see it on replay because I couldn't see it live. I had a big redhead standing in front of me and cheering. All I knew was that Manly were heading for the line.
It's like
Sit down, would you, please?
It was that eclipse all over again, wasn't it, Raz?
You're quite right. It was like an eclipse.
It wasn't my head, it was red and hairy. It wasn't my head.
It's a scary thought, isn't it? It's a scary thought. Fair a thought for Kim Vorton when we think about that. As Reeves puts in a kick. Hey, he's got it! 26-20. 26-20. 6 minutes to go. Blocker.
They're on a bit of a roll, aren't they, Manly? That was a beautiful kick there from conversion. Gartner gets the try. They've got the ability to score tries. 6 minutes to go. Here's the kick. That is an absolute beauty. And they are finishing the better. The Broncos have been clocking on and off all day.
Want me to make a prediction, Raz?
Oh, no, you keep out of it. You keep out of it. Half the crowd have gone. They're down on Pittwater Road at the bus shelter. Come on back. Come on back. King with the ball now. 22 metres away from the Manly line. Converted try to level. Kosef. 4 tries each. Almost unbelievable. Adamson. Tuvi. Derry Hill. Derry Hill. Terry Hill. He's down the right of the ground. They're not going to get him. He's over. He's over. Terry Hill's over. In the corner. Please don't stand in front of me again.
Well, the referee has gone to the video just to make sure. Stephen Clark wants to make sure that he's stayed in the field of play.
And the touching goal.
The only doubt is the sideline. Darren Lockyer coming across. Brendan Reeves can convert here to give us a 26-all draw with a couple of minutes left. Great strength from Terry. Does he get the ball down? It looks as though he will in ample time. Yes!
Oh, no doubt about it. That's a try. Great effort from Terry Hill. And look, they're gutsy, this mob. They've come back from nowhere. There it is, the green light.
I said to you at half-time they'd come back and make a match of this fat man.
You said they were gone.
Well, Brendan Reeves will take this kick from the same spot. Stephen Roach.
This is no doubt the most important 4 minutes of their season, the Manly side. They won't lie down. What about the strength of that man? What a bust. If you're behind on the scoreboard a couple of minutes to go, you want to give the football to this bloke.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the most important 4 minutes in the Brisbane season, no doubt about it. They had this game shot to ribbons. This kick is one of the most important kicks Brisbane has ever watched.
I'll tell you what, I know that he scored the try, Terry, but he had Frew on the inside. And if he had have taken a chance and thrown the ball back to Frew, they could have been under the posts.
20 out. On the touchline for Brendan Reeves. Can he do it? It's on its way. It looks good. Yes! It looks good. It's there. It's there. It is 26 holes. I don't believe it.
Oh, how good is it?
Pitch me, Fatty. Am I here?
Look, it doesn't matter who you follow. This has been the best 15 minutes of football all season. Well, Neil.
He beat Carroll, he beat Tallis.
Well, this is amazing. This entire weekend has been amazing.
Well, so important now that the Seagulls don't make a mistake. They would love a penalty. Consecutive sets of 6 in a row. Might put them in position. Big run from Tierney there, 38 out.
He shaped a pass it and the crowd as one said no. Hang on to it. Now it's Kosef. And this is Gartner. So the Eagles. What a comeback. J.SERDARIS pushes away Shane Walker. He goes up the middle.
Well, they might as well have a long-range attempt. Reeves is the man. 40
Here's
out.
the kick. Reeves came off one of his own players. It's accidental offside, and he'll put the turnover together. Peter Sharp, the coach, barking instructions at them.
Well, they need to muscle up now. Brisbane, their semi-final aspirations depend on this last couple of minutes.
No penalties.
It was 26-4 after 50 minutes. 26-4 after 50. And after 76, it's 26-26. Played by G.
Can Darren Lockyer do it 2 weeks in a row? Sydney City last week with the field goal, and Sailors getting them into position. Lockyer wants them to go to the middle again. Kevin Walters does it.
Yeah, well, he's got them to the 19-metre mark now.
And he's a long way back. He's 29 metres out. He's shaping to kick.
Here it goes. Lockyer's kick. It looks okay. Is it getting wide? Yes, it's wide. It is wide. And Manly will come back with the football. The Broncos supporters, they know how important this is. So, it is John Hopewadi running across the ground, then tries to go forward. He beat Campion half an hour ago, and then Campion made the tackle. J.SERDARIS, now Tierney. Tierney for Lions. Lions for Menzies. Menzies doing the dance on his own 40-metre line. Looking at the clock. 50 seconds to go now. 26-26. And it is with Cunningham.
They've just got to get 2 big runs here, 1 out, and a long-range attempt again.
Lions puts in a little kick. Menzies and Lockyer. Lockyer's with the football. Darren gets it away. De Vere is with it. Michael goes back to the middle of the ground, and he's put down with 25 seconds to go. 5 metres on his own side of halfway. Walters, Tallis is with it. Terry Hill's got him. The crowd roars. Halfway line and under 10 seconds to go. Philip Lee. Brisbane are going home with 1 point. Manly have come back. One of the great get-outs of all time. It is with Andrew G. It is with Darren Lockyer. He loses the ball. The game is as good as over. Daniel Gartner falls on it. And that should be full time. It is. Manly, from 26-4 down, have come back to level at 26-all in one of the most incredible, unbelievable and sensational finishes you'll ever see. This was the shot from Darren Lockyer that could have got Brisbane the 2 points, and it was just wide, and only just wide to the right of the upright. There's nothing more to say. 26-4 at the 50th minute, and at the 76th minute, the scoreboard had changed to 26 points all. Amazing. A huge chunk of the crowd had already gone home. We'll be back and wrapping it up from Brookvale in just a moment. And Blocker with the $1,000 man of the match.
Well, $1,000 Channel 9 man of the match, Darren Lockyer, the Brisbane Broncos fullback. Congratulations on your form, but mate, I'll tell you what, you took it right to the wire.
Yeah, unfortunately we still come out with a point and we keep our finals chances alive, but that's just a bit disappointing the way we finished.
15 minutes to go, 26 points to 4 in front. I thought you guys tried to force the football a little bit too much there. Was that the problem?
Yeah, definitely, mate. All we had to do was play out our 6 and you know, maybe get a few kicks and goal, but we just, just a bit of a rat race out there towards the end, and we just didn't sort of settle down. We panicked too much.
Yeah, you haven't had that much luck down here at Brookvale Oval, and today wasn't any different, but you would say it was a great experience leading into the semi-finals.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like you say, 26-4 up with 15 minutes to go. Most sides would win from there, but as Manly showed today, that the moment you relax against a decent side, you can get hurt.
Well, 12 in a row, mate. Congratulations, and you take 1 point home.
Yeah, thanks.